Hello again, my little potato chips. I want to take this time we're going to look at the first strategy. This is a pre-reading strategy, and it's called an anticipation or prediction guide. I put this, it's on Blackboard. This is a narrative. It's a little different than what I would have had for you in the classroom. That's fine. An anticipation guide does several things. It's obviously you use things before reading, during reading, after reading. This is obviously used before for the first time. It's in anticipation. If you read this article and look at the examples, and I have one for you here, we're going to look at just in a moment. The idea of the anticipation guide is to activate background knowledge to get your students interested in the read. As you're getting them interested in the reading, you can ask questions that are fact based. You can ask questions that are opinion, or you can ask questions that will further their thinking about a topic. The whole thing, though, with the anticipation guide, you must give the reason for your answer. Do you agree with it? Do you not agree with it? It's okay either way, but why? That's the whole purpose of an anticipation guide. It's more than just saying, yes, this is right, or no, I don't think that's right. Why? Well, then the other piece to this is one of the things you can do multiple things with an anticipation guide. But one of the things you can do is to spark discussion. You have to be very, very careful with how you do that. You have to know your students. You have to know your audience. Always, always, always know your audience. So I made one for um, Number the Stars. I had one already that I would have given you that I got someplace else. I cannot find it back. So I made one of my own. I used some of this from somewhere else. Okay, I have made this so it says, look at the statements below and evaluate whether you agree or disagree. Mark A if you agree, mark D if you don't agree. You can use a plus, a minus, doesn't matter. But here's the key. Be prepared to give the rationale for your answer. Why did you say that? This part right here is the key to an anticipation guide. So what I've done is I've added pieces and I got these statements from other places. I did not make these up on my own. Not having physical things is better than not having your freedom. You ask them that before you read. Do they agree or don't they? Why or why not? Children should not have to worry about problems in the world. It is better to die fighting for what's right than to live with injustice. A person should hide his or her religion to stay safe. It is good to risk your own life. Now, look at that. There is a typo right there. So I'm going to change that. That's the beauty of this right here. Risk your own life for the lives of others. It is all right to lie in order to protect someone. The older a person is, the more mature he or she becomes. Now, those are all opinion statements. I could have put in there the Danish king, King Christian X, had the Danish Navy sink all of its ships. Do you agree with that or don't you? Well, the answer's in the book. You can find that answer in the book. When you use a QAR, it's right there. These, if you use a QAR with these here, these are not right there. These are either in your head or a text to text connection or something else, because none of these are going to be right there answers even after you read the book. Okay, so you use the anticipation guide before you read Number the Stars. Then after you've read them, you go back to the anticipation guide and ask the students again, do you agree with these statements or do you not agree with these statements? Based on what you've read and what you've seen or what you've heard or what your discussions were, do you agree or don't you agree? This is a very, very, very powerful pre-reading strategy, but you also use it post-reading. Now, we could change this to be, what do you think before you've read? And then our next column, we could add a second column right in here and say, what does the author think after you've read? Does the author agree with your initial assumption or your initial feeling? And does the author agree with you or not agree with you? And have you changed your mind? Rationale, that's the whole deal with the anticipation guide. It's rationale. You have to have a reason for your answer. It's not just simply, here it is. So I want to go back to this one, and I'm going to move this little doohickey over there. And we need to come down. I want to come down here on this one. It gives you step-by-step instruction on how to do it, but more importantly, it gives you ideas for how you can do this. This is an anticipation guide for a math right here. And it has before, do you agree or disagree? And after, now, do you agree or disagree? And links are here to other places. This one is a prediction guide on estimating before and after. Here's one on how the digestive system works before and after. This is a lot of this is fact. Do you know it or don't you? This one is of mice and men. So this is a this is one for literature. One of the things that I don't see enough of in these anticipation guides is the connection to, why do you think that? If you're using anticipation guides, that is paramount, that you are asking them, why do you agree with it? Why do you disagree? This one right here, predict whether each of the solutions or mixtures is a base or an acid in the first column. Then at the end of the lesson, check to see if your predictions were right. Support it with the evidence. Right there. Support it with the evidence. There's several different kinds of anticipation guides here, which is exactly why I added this in. It was the best one I could find because I couldn't find the one I usually use. So that's just a quick down and dirty look at anticipation guides. And we will be looking at more of these pieces in conjunction with Number the Stars in just a little while.